Welcome to round 4 of the Club 73 eSports League at Brands Hatch in sunny Kent, United Kingdom. This is the C final, and as we wait for the race director to turn those red lights out, it's go, 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 off the line, slight incident on the start line there. One driver seems to fail to get away, and I believe we later learned that he had a mechanical fault. Everyone nearly cleanly through Paddock Hill there. We saw one driver going a bit wide onto the gravel, through Druids, generally clean through Druids, around the infield for the first time, cleanly through. Nice to see the McLaren out. Good variety of cars in this round. So our race leader, VSR Rotary there in the bare carbon Lexus. We have the AMG of none other than Daryl DJ, our second place sitter at the moment, in that gorgeous Martinery livery. The McLaren, we have another Lexus, the Volkswagen Beetle, driven by Willow. We have the NSX, driven there by Paul G. And taking up the rear, we have the lovely Audi R8. As our race leader comes round for the first time, followed by Daryl, followed by Richie in that lovely McLaren. sgtsimracer in the Lexus, that's Willow in the Beetle. These two look like they're gearing up for another good fight. We've got ourselves a small rivalry going here. Not so dissimilar from the Schumacher Hill days, as I am sure you will all agree as this race progresses. Can't deny that that Beetle is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Not a car you would typically associate with Group 3 racing, nevertheless appears to be getting the job done. And as we get a flash there for the camera from the Knock Hill liveried NSX, looking very resplendent in the Kent sunlight there, and that stunning 90s era McLaren. There's absolute kudos to Richie for bringing this out in this particular race. What a fantastic car. I believe the only V12 on track, and that stunningly liveried Netflix Audi R8 driven by Santoom. Santoom not having the best of starts this race, so hopefully things pick up for him as we progress. Moving forward there, we see our race leader VSR Rotary taking all the track, sometimes a little bit more. Lovely, followed by Daryl DJ there, sgtsimracer, Willow off good, Paul McG in that lovely blue NSX, coming around the inside there, Richie once again in that stunning McLaren, and Santoom there bringing up the rear in that lovely Audi R8. Now VSR Rotary is certainly pulling out a very clear early lead. Just the sound of that Lexus V8 as it thunders down the pitch straight here at Brands Hatch, making the most of the amphitheatre-like acoustics. Daryl DJ herring across the finish line there. sgtsimracer, Willow. Now these two are sticking to each other pretty well. I think this could turn into an interesting battle here for second and third. Both drivers having to keep the racing very clean. Obviously not fight too hard. As we go on board with Willow's bumper, and sgtsimracer spins into the barrier, earns himself a 1 second penalty for the pleasure. Now, what has that done for his race? As we see that big Lexus limp away, Willow up on the back straight there. Now, can sgtsimracer stay ahead of 5th, 6th and 7th place? Looks like he may have got away with it at this point, as the McLaren chases down the NSX, down the back straight. Oh, the NSX just has a slight loss of talent there. Back on board with our race leader. An interesting viewpoint as we stay on board with that thundering V8. Down from Druids into left hand from the infield. down the back of the pit straight. Just enjoy the sound of that V8, folks. Oh, Sergeant Sim Racer has another spin. Whoa. Now, will that go to the race directors? Did Willow stay back? Did he? He did. He honoured the place. I'm not entirely sure that was Willow's fault, but I think that's some amazing sportsmanship from Willow there, allowing Sergeant Sim Racer to keep the space. As we go on board with that Beetle, now chasing that big Lexus as they go down the back straight. The Lexus should have the advantage down here on power, but Willow will have his slipstream. So how much does it hurt the concentration of Sergeant Sim Racer, and how much will Willow take advantage of that fact? An interesting viewpoint there, not sure how the cameras do that. Now that stunning AMG, Darryl driving an absolutely immaculate race at this point. Just look at that thing. Easily the prettiest car on this track, bar none. As we go on board with that AMG, fast down the back straight in 5th, down through the box to 4th, taking that fast right-hander. Sergeant Sim Racer still in 3rd, still ahead of Willow, but only just. He's pushing hard. You can see from the angle of the front wheels there, the understeer is massive, so he will be chewing through them front tyres. As we once again jump on board with Willow, hot on the heels of Sergeant Sim Racer as they come through the final left-hander, down the back straight onto the pit straight, and as we watch our back marker there, Santoom, taking a bit of a spin at Paddock Hill. Race leader VSR Rotary pulling a very healthy lead by this point, and fair play, he is in an absolute class of his own here and definitely deserves to be in front. As we see our back marker spin there as we caught Darryl DJ. Willow now very much on the back of Sergeant Sim Racer. That Beetle is certainly very fast out of the corners, but then the top end of that Lexus just about allows Sergeant Sim Racer to get away with it. As we now follow the bumper of that Beetle, you can see how that Lexus gives no quarter, then the Beetle just gains on him in the corners. So this is a track that is not too sympathetic to handling cars. So as we go on board, Sergeant Sim Racer, as he goes in for his first pit stop, almost exactly 10 minutes in. This is a 30-minute race. Willow off good, deservedly so, goes up into 3rd. Now the question lies, how long will Sergeant Sim Racer be in the pits, and how far can Willow get before Sergeant Sim Racer simply cannot catch him? Now Sergeant Sim Racer is obviously going to come out with fresher tyres, more fuel, as we once again ride on board with Darryl DJ, up through the gearbox, as he just hits 5th, down into 4th, through that fast right-hander once more, hopefully enjoying this pristine drive on this gorgeous Kent summer's day in Brands Hatch. There we go, there's Willow. So we can see that Beetle just starting to move around a little bit more. His tyres are definitely going off. Now we can't see a gap. Oh, that's our back marker Santoom there, going wide, being lapped already by the field. Now, is Willow going to come into the pits, or is he going to stay out for another lap? He comes in, okay. So keep an eye on that leaderboard, folks, as the cameras pan around to catch Sergeant Sim Racer. He's a considerable distance away now, and we have to consider, if you look on the mini-map there, that Willow is in the pit lane as we follow that gorgeous McLaren. He also comes in for fuel, that thirsty V12, making short work of that fuel tank. Now where is Willow? It appears Sergeant Sim Racer has come past the pit exit, as we can see Willow there just in the distance. So Willow now on fresher tyres, definitely has better fuel economy, so it's definitely the Sergeant Sim Racer's place to lose as we go on board in that Beetle of Willow. Sergeant Sim Racer not very far in front at all, so can Willow keep it clean? And given the early issues with Sergeant Sim Racer, don't know who that was who spun, the cameras didn't quite catch it. Yeah, so can Sergeant Sim Racer keep it clean enough to at least hold on? Willow not very far behind at all. So we catch up once again with Paul in that stunning Knockhill liveried NSX as he comes in for his first pit stop, taking a little bit of grass as he goes. That amazingly liveried McLaren flies by as we hit the Netflix Audi R8 coming out of the pits. Already lapped. Yeah, he's already been lapped as our race leader comes into the pits also, doing a much better job of fuel conservation than the other Lexus on track. Just look at that car. How stunning does that look with no livery? And once again, the gorgeous Mercedes AMG of Daryl DJ makes his way up to Druids, the sun glinting off that paintwork. An amazing vehicle. Mercedes there have really done a very, very good job of making a very, very pretty race car out of that Mercedes AMG. Not a brand that is exactly shy on making good-looking cars. So I think the cameraman clearly enjoying that big Mercedes V8 as he now thunders down the back straight, working his way up through that gearbox. The car's hitting around 150, 160 miles per hour down the back straight there. So that fast fourth gear right-hander down into third, taking all the curb. Now, Sergeant Sim Racer still in third, with Willow in very, very close pursuit. The camera definitely lies here. I'm sure from Willow's point of view, which we're on board with now, he's a lot closer as they both go up to Druids. Now we know for sure that Willow having a huge amount of understeer there. Oh, as he loses it. No, has he just gifted Sergeant Sim Racer third place? Certainly a huge loss of time there for Willow. Dirty tyres there, getting the better of Willow. Just can't quite keep it going. Does he spin? No, he doesn't. Well held. Back on board with Daryl as he goes through Dingle Dell, through that fast left-hander, down on the back straight towards the start finish line. VSR already round Druids, so a huge lead there for VSR Rotary, and certainly a very well deserved lead. The way he's handling this Lexus is quite something to behold. So we just watched the back marker pull over there. The camera's catching him. Fourth gear, all the way out, fifth. Will he hit sixth as he goes down the back here? Nope. Long legs to that Lexus, as we see the second Lexus in the race from Sergeant Sim Racer. Willow actually making some pretty good ground on him at this point. So the tyres definitely starting to go off on Sergeant Sim Racer's Lexus. As we go once again, we follow Richie in that McLaren. Richie now circulating in fifth. I think fifth is looking pretty solid for Richie at this point. So we'll just go slight on board there with Paul McGee in that NSX. A very new car. Haven't seen this out too much recently. So it'd be good to see if Paul kind of finds some pace as we get into the later stages of this championship. And our back marker there, Santoom, in that Audi R8. Certainly, personally, a car I quite like. Of all the cars on track, I think the Audi R8 would certainly be my choice of road car. as he's doing a pretty good job through these last couple of corners, down through the box, and we pick up once again with VSR Rotary. Quite a lonely race for him, bit of battle damage there on that big Lexus. That bare carbon fibre taking some expensive hits. Listening to that V8 as he roars down the back straight. Yeah, we can't deny that himself and Daryl, who we're following now, both of them in an absolute league of their own. It's a shame Daryl couldn't have been a little bit closer to... Oh, what's happened here? Willow now in third. So, has Sergeant Sim Racer pitted? It looks like he has. Now, that's a two-stop strategy from Sergeant Sim Racer. Could we have missed something? Has he pulled a bit of a blinder here? Now, he will be all too aware that Willow can only handle about one, maybe two more laps than he. Huge understeer, full lock almost there for that big Lexus as he scrubs in a new pair of super soft tyres. The Beetle now coming round the fast back section of Brands Hatch as he goes through Dingle Delve, through Bazza's Bend into the last left-hander. Sergeant Sim Racer there trying to make all the ground up he can, taking all the track he can, earns himself a penalty for the pleasure. Takes that penalty as he goes through Bazza's Bend. There we go. Served in the proper manner. Now, Willow passes the pit lane once more. So, has he got enough fuel to see himself through to the end of this race? I can't see that he has. The tyres could certainly last. As Sergeant Sim Racer comes over the line once again. So now it's third place to gain for Sergeant Sim Racer, and certainly Willow's place to lose. Willow has definitely had the stronger drive out of the two of these, but is it a case of a race, or a place I should say, won in the pits? That's going to be the question as we follow that. Unmissable livery of Willow Be Good in that black and turquoise colour scheme. The cameraman once again doting on that Mercedes AMG of Daryl DJ as he comes round the last corner. VSR Rotary, rightly so, gets some camera time, held the lead from the very start. Certainly a man we are going to see moving up through this championship. There are 3 finals in this championship. So we have the A, certainly for the fastest and highest points drivers, through to the B and then the C. The C typically consists of new drivers or those that finish slightly further down the points table. As we watch Willow come into the pits now, the question is, how close is Sergeant Sim Racer at this point? Very close indeed. He's made up a huge amount of ground as he hares past the pit lane exit. As we watch that mini map at the top, Sergeant Sim Racer making his way up, round through Druids, second gear corner in that big Lexus. Powers out down the hill. Willow now out of the pits. Has Willow got enough time to catch Sergeant Sim Racer? Fresh tyres, more fuel. It shouldn't make too much of a difference. As we watch that McLaren leave the pits once more. On board now with the Audi R8 of Santoom, as he now goes over the start finish line. Nice to see that he's remained on track, collecting some information and data as he goes off once more. Certainly not having the best race today. One to keep an eye on for the future as we watch that big Lexus of VSR Rotary go round the final corner onto the not very straight pit straight at Brands Hatch, uphill through the blind right hand crest, down Paddock Hill Bend there, up towards Druids as we go on board with Daryl DJ himself. I think at this point possibly one of the only drivers that hasn't been lapped. So he makes a very clean job of that final right hand turn. as he comes across the line. sgtsimracer there. Again, I think the leaders may have lapped up to P5 as we stay on board with sgtsimracer as he comes round the final corner onto the pit straight at Brands, chasing one of the back markers there. Being ghosted, it can be quite hard to tell who it is. Looks like the Audi R8 of Santoom, as Willow Be Good only just comes across the line. Now the question is there enough time left in this race for Willow to get his third place back? And I think we're right to say that. I think Willow certainly is the more deserving of the two for the place, but that's racing, folks. As we stay on board for that big V12 there of Richie, as he very cleanly this time round Paddock Hill Bend up to Druids, certainly making use of a lot more RPM than the Lexus. The NSX there of Paul, would like to have seen more of that this race, but I think it's fair to say had Paul had given us another flash of the camera there, thank you Paul. Yeah, had he had a slightly better start, we could have seen him, I think, battling for third and fourth with sgtsimracer and Willow. As Santoom comes into the pit, no he doesn't. Slight oversteer moment there. Will the marshals issue a penalty? It doesn't look like they will, as he comes over the start finish line for the 20th time. So, are we about to see the start of the final lap of this race? As VSR Rotary trips the timing line, lap 21. Daryl DJ making his way round for what may very well be the penultimate lap of this race. Like I say, it's a 30-minute race, and it's a 30 minutes, not 30 minutes plus one. So once the time is up, when the leader finishes that lap, that is the end of the race. Willow Be Good there, hot on the heels of sgtsimracer. Richie there in that 90s era McLaren bounces his way round Druids. The NSX taking all the track he needs. The Audi R8 there glinting in the sunlight of the Kent countryside. So, as we watch that countdown timer, will VSR trip the timing beacon before the 30 minutes is up? Hold your breath, folks. Yellow flags are out. Have we had a spinner? Yes, we have. It's our back marker. Not a problem. VSR Rotary making it cleanly through. Does not get caught up. Yep, that's it, folks. It looks like it was going to be a 21 lap race. And a very, very deserving win for VSR Rotary as he takes the line for first place. And Daryl DJ in that once again, and I know we said it several times, but that stunning Mercedes and that Martini livery as he comes round up through Dingledale, Bazza's Bend for the last time. Just has to keep it on the track. No fear of losing his place now. Cleanly through that left-hander, down the hill towards the start-finish straight. And the crowd should rightly so be cheering him for an impeccable race, as Daryl DJ is our second place finisher. So that leaves sgtsimracer, by quirk of timing, to be our third finisher, albeit the last person to finish. So a very well done to sgtsimracer, who brings it home in third place. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at round 5.